Hey everyone, I'm Joe. Today it's time for me to do my reading wrap up for August 2018, and as the title suggests, this is actually the shortest wrap up I've ever done since creating this channel 4.5 years ago, as I only read 4 books in the month of August, which for me is very low indeed. I normally read at least 10, if not closer to 15. Now, the reason for me not reading very much in August is actually very simple, and that is because I went to the Worldcon, which is held in San Jose, California in America, and I had a really good time whilst there. I was unable to concentrate on reading before I went to the Worldcon in the first half of the month because frankly I was too excited and also too nervous by the thought of travelling and such, so I only read a very small amount. At the Worldcon, well, I was doing Worldcon related things with really nice people, the other booktubers, and there is a video about that which I'll link in the description box below. And since the Worldcon in the last sort of week and a bit, again I've been on a rather high because of how good the Worldcon was, and again I haven't been able to concentrate very much on reading. Although, just because I only read 4 books doesn't mean they were bad. Actually quite the opposite, they were really good. Although it won't take much time to talk about them because all 4 books are books in a series by the same author. So this really is going to be fast. The 4 books that I read are also ebooks, so I'll put pictures on the screen now. And those are A Wizard Alone, A Wizard's Holiday, Wizards at War, and A Wizard of Mars. These are books 6, 7, 8 and 9 in the Young Wizards series by Duane. Now this is a series that I started at the very start of the year. There is only 10 books in the series, although I don't currently own the 10th, so the 10th will be read whenever I get around to it. I'm not in a major hurry because although this may be a series and there is an overarching sort of character plots and stuff as such, they're not direct sequels to one another, so you don't have to read them directly after one another in such a hurried way that sometimes some books demand you read them close together because the plot continues really directly. These are just more like separate adventures of the characters, which I really do enjoy. The main 2 characters are Kit and Nita. They are a teenage pair of friends. In this first book they discover that they have magical ability of which they start using. There is a big bad evil in the world, well in the universe to be precise, and they use their powers along with other wizards and such to combat this and try to counter what this sort of darkness, this sort of omnipotent sort of evil force is doing, although their magic comes from this omnipotent good force in the universe, this sort of ultimate good. So it balances out, there's a sort of cosmic karma in this book and series, which I find quite an interesting one. Now this is a, I think it's classed as a young adult fantasy series. Normally, as you may know, if anything says it's young adult, I tend to lose interest extremely quickly because young adult as a rule doesn't really work for me. In this case it does, because for one thing the characters are just genuinely more believable and they are actually people. They haven't got sort of stupid tropes to them like a lot of YA books. I mean, for one thing, they are a little bit younger than sort of some of other young adult books. Some young adult books are like 19, 20. These are more teenagers, younger teenagers. So I think they're more normal, frankly, than many books, which I think works really well. Overall, as far as the plotline of these books go, this is just the same for all the series. They just have particular adventures, let's say, focused around one particular idea or theme. Each story stands up really well on its own, and indeed they do actually build up throughout the series. Further books do use ideas and themes built up in previous books, so you don't necessarily have to read them in order, I don't expect, but it would be very advantageous. I would really recommend you start with the first book, which is called So You Want to Be a Wizard, because it will make a lot more sense and the evolution of the characters would also obviously work out really well, and overall this series would be just frankly just logically read in order, because these sort of things generally are for the most part. Currently, I am not sure if I may or may not do a overall series review of the Young Wizards series once I've read that 10th book, which I do want to read by the end of the year. But I don't know. So for now, this is kind of like my mini sort of overview of the series. As such, because we're reading 4 books of season 1 month. It certainly covers quite a lot of ground, frankly. I would recommend this series if you want a interesting fantasy series with characters that are actually a little bit more believable than some, at least in my opinion, in the sort of young adult category. And it's just really well written and fun, and I just really did enjoy these books. With that said, that is actually it for everything I've read. As I suggested at the start, this is indeed meant to be quick, although I've talked for longer than I expected now about these books. If you have any recommendations for me based on these, then please leave them. I'm always interested in new books and new authors. If you've read the Young Wizards books by Diane Duane, or anything else by Diane Duane, I personally don't know anything else that Diane Duane has written. I haven't looked into it as an author yet. I've just been reading the series. Then again, leave a comment and we can have a conversation. With that said, that is it for this video. Oh, and all my social media links will be found in the description box below, as always. With that said, that is it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you another day. Bye for now.